Hey, what's up guys, Mashine here, coming back with a brand new video for you guys. Today we're going to be talking about if it's the right time to buy. Now the thing is, everything on the Steam market has started to reach a different point. It's kind of odd because we've seen some items go down and some items actually go up. But the thing is, it's kind of isolated into certain areas. We're seeing a lot of high tier items start to go up in price, and a lot of the items that I would personally consider investments have started to creep down in price. And therefore it raises the big question, is it a good time to buy? Today we're going to be going over a lot of different specific areas and the specific indicators that I look for. But first, let's hear a quick word from our sponsor, Skinport. Today's video is sponsored by Skinport. Now, Skinport is a super quick and easy way to pick up some brand new skins. Now, if you're looking to buy on the website, it's going to be completely free. There's no buyer's fee. And if you're looking to sell, it's only going to be 12%, which is a small price to pay for being 100% secure. Now, the reason I go with Skinport is because they've got a 4.9 out of 5 on Trustpilot with 10,000 reviews, over 400,000 skins on the site. But the biggest thing is they're able to cash out to your local currency completely seamlessly. Combine that with the fact they've got skins so much cheaper than the Steam community market, and there's no reason not to. Make sure to check them out with the top link in the description or the pinned comment. Let's hop on into it. Now, the first area I want to hit on is the active duty cases. Now, active duty cases is something I've talked about pretty extensively. I'm not going to go too deep into it, but the thing is, we're starting to see a lot of interesting movements. Recently, we've seen the recoil case, a case that was still very prominent in that price point. It's still at 60-ish cents, but the thing is, it slipped about 40%, going from around $1 to now around 60 cents in just the span of 2 to potentially 2.5 weeks, which is absolutely crazy for a case to lose 40% of its value. Now, the thing is, these cases were sitting at a very elevated level, and the thing is, I bring this all up because this is one of the huge signs we look for when we're seeing a market decreasing as a whole, especially when we're talking about people putting money into other areas. It's very common during an operation to see something like this happen. I mentioned it with Riptide a lot in the clutch case. You can see it here. The clutch case fell about 50% during Riptide, and that's something that's going to be very interesting if we do end up seeing an operation, because we could see an even more drastic drop from this lower price point. And I bring all of this up to talk about the specific investments that could be coming from the active duty cases. I'll be honest, if the fracture case goes down to maybe 7-8 cents, obviously I'm going to be picking some up. Same with the snakebite case. It does bring up that opportunity. However, I feel that we're not there at this point yet to be considering any active duty cases, especially considering I'm someone that's very laid back when it comes to active duty case investing. I'm not overly aggressive, and I suggest that you aren't either, but that's just my personal opinion. And I also would like to avoid normal cases or the rare cases for pretty much an entire video, but the thing is, I'm just going to throw it in there because obviously if we're talking about a buying opportunity, this is most likely where you're going to flock to. A lot of them are still down significantly. However, we have seen some small signs of recovery. Cases like the breakout case have shown some early stages of potentially recovering, with some people still buying into them and some people placing a heavy amount of buy orders. It's something you should check out if you're looking to invest, but obviously we're still far from a full recovery. Now, the reason I bring up a buying opportunity today is for a couple reasons. One, obviously, if an operation comes around, prices are going to drop down lower than what they're at right now. I feel that that's just pretty common sense, that prices are going to be lower. Now, for how long they're going to be lower, how much lower, we don't specifically know, but we do know that a price is going to go down because people are going to be quick selling. But the reason I bring it up is we're starting to see a lot of quick bull runs for specific items. Now, this is a very good sign that the market has still got a lot of life into it. If we were just seeing stagnant and increasing prices all over the board with everything not having a promising future, that's not something we want to see. But we're seeing a lot of specific items like the bull runs we've seen over the past couple weeks. We're talking about the wildfire case, we're talking about the tier 6 stickers, we're talking about the dust 2 packages, we're talking about the M4A4s altogether. Now, obviously these things had motives and specific leads into why they went up in price, but the biggest thing is they went up in price. This market is still extremely active, and there's tons of people that are still looking for an opportunity and looking for specific profit out of it. Now, I profited on pretty much everything out of these 4 outcomes, I believe. I think I profited on every single one, which I'll definitely potentially make a full video on how you can profit every single time from these as well. Now, it's not a ton of profit, but I make 20-40 bucks every time something like that comes around. But the biggest thing I want to point out here is there is still so much activity in this market, which is a really good sign that obviously the market's not dead or anything, but during a down period in the market, it becomes very easy to convince yourself that this is finally the end of a market, and that's just not the case. And I think one big thing that's always forgotten when we talk about big down periods in the market like this is, first up, we're starting to see a lot of stagnation, which is honestly not a bad thing. Stagnation is something that's very important to keep a healthy market along with the growth and the downfalls. But the thing is, we saw growth unprecedentedly for so many different cases. If we want to talk about the breakout case once again, we saw this case go absolutely crazy throughout 2022. You've probably heard me mention that we really never saw a summer setback because everyone was so focused in on a Source 2 update. Everyone thought Source 2 was going to come in August, so therefore we didn't see a downturn really of the player count as much as we usually see. But the thing is, we didn't see a downturn in the market, which is much more important. We didn't see prices fall during that period, which really threw off kind of the balance we had going for the overall market. It's very interesting and it's very specific, but we really didn't see a lot of prices fall down during that time, which is something we really never see. And now it's kind of coming back to bite the community a little. A lot of people are looking at the time period and saying that it's the fourth quarter of the year, we've got no operation, no big update, and the biggest of them all is we're starting to lose value on so many different items. It's not necessarily that the items are losing value because it's the end of the year. The items are losing value because they saw growth for 10, 11 months straight, and it's something that we really didn't expect to see, but it's something that is not sustainable. So it comes down to the biggest question of, why am I bringing it up now? Well, obviously there is the potential an operation could show up tomorrow, however unlikely. The biggest reason I bring it up now is because your selling points and your buying points are the two most important things and the only two things you can control about an investment. I talk so much about getting a great selling point, but the thing is, you gotta get a great buying point as well. Obviously, buying here and selling here mean nothing if you're going to just go ahead and buy and sell at the worst times. It's very important that you choose specific times. Looking at the graph here, if you buy at this point, it's going to be much easier to profit than if you were to buy at this point. Some of it does come down to timing. Like obviously, if you buy a week before an operation, that's just unfortunate timing. But the thing is, a lot of it comes down to knowing specifically when you should be buying and when you should at least be looking to potentially pick some things up. If maybe your favorite item or an item you want to invest into drops maybe 10 or 20 extra percent, it could be the time to hop in. This is a mistake I see so often. There's so many comments I get about people being disappointed in selling off their investments. And the thing is, selling off your investments is part of the game. Everyone's got investments they wish they held onto. But what's even worse than that is when you sell off an investment with the purpose of potentially buying it back in the future when the price goes down. And the thing is, you get too scared to buy it. It's something that happens pretty much every single market, every single time. There's so many different ways it can go. And the biggest one is usually people not buying in for a price point that they know they really should be, or at bare minimum looking to, and then they end up getting burned. But that is really all I have for today, guys. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.